Welcome back to Ravens Today. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Let's keep it going. Like the video. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Let's dive into what I've been hearing around the fan base. First up, Tyler Linderbaum has been projected to win the new Protector of the Year award. This award was recently announced for the best offensive lineman of the year. It's kind of like a who protected their quarterback the best, I just assume. But anyway, Tyler Linderbaum's been projected to win it. All for it, man. Be the first winner be of the award and be the first Ravens offensive lineman to win the award. Kind of like a feather in the cap type of thing, you know? And especially on a contract year, it helps him out, gets him some more leverage when it comes down to actually talking about contracts. Again, I'm not really worried about the contract situation right now, but this would be a nice feather in the cap for him. All for it. I think that he will absolutely kill it this year, as he's always done, and he obviously will win this Protector of the Year award. Moving on, we got some Lamar Jackson contract status updates. According to Jeff Zabrak, the Ravens are now making Lamar Jackson's contract the number one priority. It's at level one. That's all they want to focus on right now. Obviously, they have other players that they have to think about in terms of contract extensions, but Lamar's is the number one priority. You know, Lamar, he doesn't like to talk about contracts in season. We still have him for another two seasons. The problem is, like I've said previously, is the cap hit he will draw for the 2026-2027 season. We have to address it. It's $74 million. Which is a lot of money. We can spread that out more if we re-sign him before that happens, okay? Whether or not that is going to happen is up to Eric DeCosta and Lamar Jackson. Both of them have a very private business relationship. Eric DeCosta has not said a word about how the contract negotiations went for Lamar's first contract extension. He just said we were able to talk it out, get it signed, and now it's very hush hush again in terms of where the status is for that negotiation and where they are kind of headed in terms of what type of money Lamar Jackson wants and what Lamar Jackson will receive. Remember when Lamar Jackson and Eric DeCosta were in negotiations and nobody knew a thing up until Lamar Jackson announced on his Twitter that he's requesting a trade. And obviously when he was resigned, he had mentioned that he's only did that because he wanted to get the ball rolling and pretty much say cough it up. And the Ravens did. So I feel like Eric DeCosta now does have a better idea of how he's able to work with Lamar in terms of contract negotiations, because he has to work with just Lamar. There's no agent. There's nothing. It's just Lamar. And I feel like now there's going to be a much better journey to getting Lamar Jackson extended again and being able to, have a much more fluid negotiation with him, and Eric DeCosta works his magic. So I do think that this deal is going to happen sometime before the regular season begins or right after the playoffs are over, right after the Ravens win the Super Bowl. And looking at it from my point of view, I think that Eric DeCosta knows what the money that Lamar Jackson wants. It's just a matter of being able to cough it up and still be able to play players on the side. I guess we'll have to find out. I mean, every Ravens fan remembers how stressful it was for us to not hear a word about how the contract negotiations are going. We had to go to AI. We had to, go to Jeff, who didn't know anything at that time, and we went to we went down the rabbit hole that didn't exist pretty much, and then finally we got Lamar Jackson re-signed during that draft when we drafted Zay. So I feel like this time around it's going to be a lot more fluid, and it's going to be a lot more, or I wouldn't say a lot more, but it's going to be easier to be able to sign Lamar because, again, Eric DeCosta now knows how to negotiate with Lamar and how to address what type of money he wants. I'm not worried about it. All right, and moving on, we have a Ravens critic has addressed the fact that the Ravens have picked up a hidden gem in this draft. Not in Malachi Starks, not in Mike Green. Obviously, we know that they are great players, and they've obviously on the inside and out, they're very talented. They will be an absolute unit on this defense. But here's the hidden gem: 6th round pick, Ennis Peebles is projected to be the Ravens' hidden gem. It's interesting here. Defensive edge, despite his height and weight, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He utilizes his speed to get pressure on the QB. He has a relentless work ethic. When he was talking to reporters during the rookie training camps sessions, he said that he doesn't let his size define him. He didn't really think that his size would matter at all during the draft. And during his one lone season with Virginia Tech, he produced 7 tackles for a loss and 3 sacks. It's pretty good. It's not like eye-opening numbers, but it's still pretty good. With some development, he could be of great use to the Ravens. And being able to utilize your speed like that and be able to use your expertise. He can't go up against big offensive linemen. He can't go straight up against them. He can't bull rush them, so he has to get around them. But he's able to do that, and he knows that, so that's the best part. He knows what he can do to get to the quarterback, and he utilizes it to its full potential, and I think that the Ravens are absolutely going to train him to be able to go further beyond than that. It's only time will tell to see how his development goes, but if critics are saying he's the hidden gem of the draft, all for it. Let's just keep him and see how well he develops. Also, lastly, some secret free agency signings, by the way. This is a great tactic by Eric DeCosta. So, Eric DeCosta, RGM, loves his draft picks. He utilizes them all. He used them all during the 2025 draft. We had 11, and we used them all. And anyway, so what I'm predicting here is that Eric DeCosta will wait until June 1st, until after June 1st, to make sure that his free agency signings don't affect his compensatory picks. They don't affect any comp picks that he's received from any team. 2 of the players that I can see him signing. There's former Cardinals guard Will Hernandez, free agent right now, and Kaiser White, who is a Cardinals linebacker, who was just released from his contract with the Cardinals. Both Cardinals players. Hernandez could be, provide veteran presence to this offensive line and, be like a rotational tackle for this offensive line as well. Kaiser White, he could also provide depth and more so, I guess, rotational in this situation here. Because, we still have Trenton Simpson. We still have the rookies, linebackers. And I just feel like that he's just going to be more of a mentor to the younger guys rather than having a starting position. Obviously, if he does win the starting position and if he is signed, pending this happens after June 1st, it's going to be more of a leadership role rather than more like a starter position role, which again, it provides depth and he could provide some good insight to the Ravens linebacker position. Both of these guys, to the guard position and to the linebacker position. I'm all for this. Just sign them to a smaller deal, so that way it doesn't affect our cap space as much. Thank you for tuning into Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda. Again, hopefully everyone had a great weekend. Happy Memorial Day, by the way, and I will catch you all later. Again, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. Have a good one.